Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw anime eyes as a part of my penance for missing yesterday's anime sketching stream. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to draw anime eyes. I'm not great, but I think it'll prove useful if you're trying to sketch anime. First thing you're going to want to do is make 3 little lines here. And I'll do an anime face tutorial at some point, but for now I just want to show you how to make eyes. So you're going to make 4 sort of evenly spaced lines like that. And then you're going to want to sort of box them off. Mine's not quite big enough. There we go. And then you're going to want to sort of space them off and draw like a little guide for you down here and a little guide for you up here. And so normally this is sort of where the eyebrow would be. So like I would erase this line eventually, right? But like we'd add like, you know, eyebrow there, same thing. Anyway, you're going to want to take this line here. Now this is going to be where the eye sort of begins. Now I chose this line because it sort of lines up with the, anyway, so make a sort of really faint line there. And you're probably going to want to use a shorter pencil than I am. I'm just using a darker one so that I can like properly illustrate where they go. But yeah, and then you're going to want to, now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the lower end of this line, and this is where we're going to be making our like pupils and our little sparkly circles for the eyes, depending on where they're going to be looking, and you always got to sort of section the eye off. So I'll show you what I mean here. So keep in mind, mine are they're not perfect, right? And it's been a while since I've sketched, so just keep that in mind for my eyes that I'm about to make here. I want to kind of make them in an oval shape. Something similar to that. And so move on to the next one. We'll see, let's make this one looking right, like looking in this sort of direction, like over here. So we'll put this eye also on like facing toward the right, because this person's going to be looking toward the right. Try and like close off that eye at the bottom there. And then just as a basic framework, you're going to want to just section the eye off slightly, like that. And yeah, like I said, preferably use like a lighter pencil, and not, these lines are too thick, but I'm just using it to show you. Okay, and so next, what we're gonna want to do is make little tiny circles on either end of these eyes, depending on where they're gonna look. And so usually I make the top end, the darker end there, and usually I make the bottom end less shaded. It sort of depends on the character or whatever I'm making. But yeah, we'll start with the bottom. So I'm going to make this person looking right. I'm going to try to. So we're going to make a tiny little circle, and I really didn't choose the right pencil for this, but that's okay. We're going to make a tiny circle there and a tiny circle there. And then up here, we're going to do the same thing, but it's going to be more centered. Tiny circle there. Tiny circle there. Okay. So now, if I had like different, I mean, I do have different shade pencils, but since this is just for, like, since I'm just showing you what to do, let's shade the top here. I'm just gonna shade it a bit. Try and keep that circle mostly intact if you can. I really chose too bold a pencil here, but that's all right. And then we'll darken that, and then we're just gonna very, very lightly shade the bottom here, and leave that circle intact there. And we'll be going over that again with our eraser in a bit. Shade that one too. Try and, if you can, try and get the top slightly darker than the bottom. Try and like make it as gradient as you can, which I'm doing a very bad job of, but that's sort of the idea. Okay, now at this point, people usually they add like some variety of eyelash to the face, unless you're making like a male, anime portrait, which the eyes are usually much smaller and a little bit less cute. So we're gonna try and try and like connect the eye if you can, the top of it to the eyelash, and like this pencil really isn't pointy enough for what I'm trying to do here, but yeah, I want to try and bring this out and then flourish at the end there. I didn't really frame that super well, but you get the idea. Bring this around, and some people don't like to connect the. Let's try and make the eyebrows a little bit frizzy. Yeah, and try and connect this. There we go. This really isn't a great example, but we'll work with it. And then we'll take this side here, do the same thing. This one's shaped a little bit better. We'll fill this in here. Good, and then make this a little bit frizzier here. And always try and shave the top of the eye a bit, and the eyelashes, just so that, well, I don't know, it's just something I always do. I think there's some art reason, but I'm not very well versed in art, to be honest. Yeah, these eyes didn't come out too great, but anyway, you get the idea. And sometimes I'll shade the bottom of the eyes and the cheeks or whatever, Anyway, this is just like a rough anime eye thing. These didn't come out too great, but you get the idea. And sometimes I'll just connect that at the very top and try and make it a bit more circular. Like I said, try and make it sort of gradient. That's what I try and do usually. Although my anime eyes are not anything special. For the nose, we just obviously add like a tiny little, art there, and then say she had, some hair. I didn't frame the face super well, but this is probably the bottom half of her face, so the hair would be like coming down in this kind of a way. I always like hair that hits the eyes a bit. So the hair would be going down like that. And we'd shave the bottoms of the hair pieces. Anyway, just like a general idea. And then if this were her face, we'd probably give her a pointed chin slightly. So like this. Sorry, my face is not going to be very well done here because I honestly didn't frame this just right. This will give her kind of a baby face. And then we would shade the bottoms of her hair. And like, let's say she had hair down here. Like up here. I didn't do this part already. Anyway, it's something like this. This is not great, but you get what I'm saying. Shade the bottoms. This is a really rough sketch, by the way. I'll do a more in-depth one, probably at some point soon. I'll either make a video or I'll do a stream. I'm not even, to be honest, I'm nothing special with anime sketching either, but I've practiced a lot though. So I'm hoping at some point I can get a little bit better. And sometimes you shape the top a little bit. I don't know why I gave, whoever this is, I don't know why I gave her such menacing hair, but, you know. I guess our character is just going to roll that way a bit. And then we shade the bottoms. This is just a rough idea of what to do. This isn't exactly how this should be done. I'm just sort of putting things out as I go. So I'm going to give her a cute... by the way, I added a line here just so I know where the nose is. And then I'll give her a really cute little smile if I can, like the wholesome sort of. That's not great, but you get the idea. Shade the bottom slightly. Looks like she has a little goatee, but you get what I mean. And then we'll add a little neck. I always kind of struggle to draw the neck because I always draw it straight, but it's more of a curve, I think. And then that, like, obviously goes into the torso. Whatever, yeah. I'm terrible at drawing bodies, by the way, so I'm just gonna quickly, yeah. If I were doing this for real, like if this were real, I would probably trim the cheeks there a bit. And definitely refine these eyes. At this point, I would probably, I'll do it a bit here. Just like give them a lot more shading, because these aren't nearly as dark as I like the eyes to look, more detailed. But yeah. And I'd probably lighten up the bottom as well. Like the bottom of the eye. But yeah. Actually, maybe I'll lighten up the eyes before I stop here. Sorry, I'm just drawing the hair a little bit more with what I had envisioned at the beginning. Sometimes the things we envision don't exactly turn out exactly how we want them. I kind of wanted to give her like hair strands over the eyes, but I think I kind of screwed that up, so. Alright, we'll just add like a base layer of shading to the hair quick. Just like shade it in slightly. Problem is I'm like half watching my phone to sketch, and that's not, don't do that. I didn't shade this part enough. It's gotta be shaded more. There we go. Strand there. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to call this girl Pineapple Laura or something. I don't know. Sometimes I'll give names to all the anime little characters I'll create. I don't know why this sort of became a face tutorial, didn't it? I didn't really mean it that way, but I was just kind of See, this is what happens with sketching. If you enjoy it, you just start doing the whole thing. It's like, well, I might as well finish it. I don't know why she has a bump here. Yeah, she forgot to deal with that. Is it can give her like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say I guess we can give her devil horns, but then the comments would be, you know, is there something else we can give her? Like side. Ooh, okay, gotcha. We'll give her some cat ears. Oh, perfect. Okay, wait. One. I'm just trying to envision this. I don't want to give her ones like that. Maybe like. Wait. Okay. I know this seems silly, but I want to get cat ears right because I always kind of find a way to screw them up. There we go. I mean, those, yeah, that kind of looks like it's a cat ear. Okay, this sign's cat ear is going to be sort of covered by the hair. I tried to make those cat ears, but I guess I could like attach them to a like a band, so it looks less like horns. There we go. And like, if I were to give her ears, I could tuck them around the ear. Tuck this around this ear too. Anyway, that didn't come out perfect, but yeah, general idea. Should always shade the bottom of the lip. I always like to add a bit of shading under the eyes for like an intense blush, and then a bit of a nose there. And if you and eyebrows. I always forget about eyebrows. Okay, there we go. Not bad. I'd probably work on it if I were doing this again, but yeah, give her a choker. So this pencil is getting dull. Anyway, yeah, that was meant to be my eye tutorial, but it somehow turned into that. And if I were really going at it, I would sharpen the cheeks a bit, and I would get rid of all this stuff here in the face and deal with whatever this hair is. This didn't turn out super great either. But anyway, that's like a rough face slash eye tutorial there. If this helped you, maybe like it. If you found it interesting, like it. If you disliked it, let me know. Yeah, hopefully the anime eye slash face tutorial was helpful. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, that's good. I can let me know by leaving a comment. I'll make more shorts like this, and I'll make more videos, and I'll do a stream either tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, let me know.